Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the Science Online class. Let us move to the next lesson, Sedimentary Rocks, page 96 to 97. Lesson objective: to discuss how sedimentary rocks are formed. To describe the types of sedimentary rocks. How sedimentary rocks are formed. It takes millions of years to make sedimentary rocks. The process happens in stages. They are formed when pieces of sand, mud, or dead plants and animals settle into layers and harden into rock over millions of years. Open page number 94. What is weathering? Weathering is a process by which rocks break into smaller pieces called sediments. Their size varies from big boulders means big, large rocks, to microscopic clay particles. The rocks break up in different ways. The different types of weathering are chemical weathering, biological weathering, and freeze-thaw weathering. Chemical weathering happens when rock minerals like calcium carbonate react with acids in rainwater. The chemical weathering makes the gravestone writing go blurry. We can see that sometimes the writing in the gravestone, it will becomes blurred. It happens because of chemical weathering. Biological weathering happens when plant roots or animals' actions break up rocks. I will show you a video, then you will understand it better. Freeze-thaw weathering. It happens when water get into rock cracks. Here the water will get into the rock cracks. On cold nights, the water freezes. When the water freezes, as you know, it will expand. The ice pushes against the crack, so the crack will become bigger. This happens again and again, and then finally the rock will break. Then, what is erosion? Many sediments are washed into streams and rivers. This washing away is called erosion. The sediments are carried along by the water. They bash against each other. Bash means striking hard and violently against each other, which makes them smaller and smoother. Some sediments travel in rivers for hundreds of years. Making layers. When rivers reach the sea, they slow down. Then what is sedimentation? The tiny sediments means the small rocks, suspended in the water, drop to the bottom and settle in a layer. This is called sedimentation. Then what is cementation? The new layers settle on the top of old layers. Eventually, the sediments in the layers stick together. That is, cementation is a sticking together of sediments to make rock. The layers will become hard and then they are now strata. Now let us see a video to understand how sedimentary rocks are formed.
2. Explain how sediments are formed. And explain how sediments are turned into layers of new rocks. Existing rocks can be broken down into small pieces or sediments in a process called weathering. There are 3 main types of weathering. Physical weathering is caused by temperature changes. For example, in freeze-thaw weathering, water gets into cracks in the rock. When the water freezes, it expands and forces the rock apart. This happens many times, eventually breaking the rock. An example of chemical weathering is when acid rain reacts with substances in rocks. Even plants or animals can break up rocks. This is biological weathering. The sediments formed by weathering can be moved away by water, ice, wind, or gravity. The combined process of weathering and transport is called erosion. Eventually, sediments settle in one place. For example, they may sink to the bottom of the sea. This is called deposition. More layers of sediment are deposited on top. Over millions of years, the weight of the layers above compress the ones below, and they harden into sedimentary rock in a process called compaction. Sometimes another substance seeps between the sediments and hardens, sticking or cementing the sediments together. The whole process leads to the formation of horizontal layers of sedimentary rock.
Now let us answer the textbook questions. Write these stages in the best order: sedimentation, weathering, cementation, and erosion. As you know, the first process is weathering. Second is erosion. The third is sedimentation. And the final stage is cementation. Which type of weathering never happens in warm climates and why? Of course, it's freeze-thaw weathering. It does not happen in climates where it does not get cold enough for water to freeze. Question number 3. What is erosion? As already discussed, erosion is the washing away of sediments. What happens in cementation? In cementation, the sediments stick together to make rocks. What are the different types of sedimentary rocks? It includes sandstone, claystone and mudstone, and limestone. Let us learn about sandstone. Sandstone is a very hard, so makes a good building material. This is a picture of sandstone, and this shows a building made of sandstone. Its medium-sized grains are made of mineral quartz. The quartz is actually silicon dioxide. This you have learned during the first term of this year. Other minerals cement the grains together. Sandstone often contains fossils of animals. I hope you know about the fossils. Fossils are the remains of dead plants and animals that burrowed in the sand or lived in seawater above it. Claystone and mudstone. This is the picture of claystone and this is the picture of mudstone. They have tiny grains held together by pressure. They usually form under the sea, so they contain fossils of sea animals. The biggest ever carnivore fossil was found in claystone near Oxford. Leopleurodon lived in the sea. It is a large carnivore. It was 25 meters long with teeth twice as long as the teeth of Tyrannosaurus rex. This is a kind of dinosaur. This is the picture of Leopleurodon and this is the picture of Tyrannosaurus rex. It is easy to mold wet clay into different shapes. As you know, bricks and pottery are molded from wet clay. Then they are fired to make them hard. Limestones. This is a picture of a limestone. They are useful building materials. Incredibly, they are made from the remains of living things. Billions of dead animals and plants pile up on the seabed. Over millions of years, their remains make thick layers of limestone. The process still happens in places like the Bahamas. The limestones contain a huge variety of fossils. This is the fossil, the picture of a fossil in limestone. Question number 5. Sometimes limestones with fossils are used to make the fronts of important buildings. Why are these rocks chosen for this? Do you know the answer? It is because they look very attractive. Put a few drops of diluted hydrochloric acid onto the rock. If you see bubbles, the rock may be limestone. This is the chemical equation. Calcium carbonate, it refers to limestone. When it reacts with hydrochloric acid, it makes calcium chloride, carbon dioxide and water. The bubbles is actually the carbon dioxide. Use the equation to name a chemical in limestone. As I already told, the chemical is calcium carbonate. Name the gas in the bubble. It's actually carbon dioxide. Acid rain sometimes attacks limestone. Why is this a problem? If the acids in the acid rain react with limestone in a building, the building will begin to wear away. I will send you the notes along with the video. Please write the notes in the notebook and submit on or before 6th April, Monday. Thank you very much.